I now call Mathew Hulbert to speak for the motion as a whole from Bosworth.
Thank you, Chair, and thank you, Conference. I want to welcome something which is in the policy paper but not on the face of the motion itself, that being the important role of what takes place outside of school in terms of out-of-school activities and the positive impact they can have in building confidence, wider skills and helping to ensure our young people become good citizens to make a positive contribution to wider society. I'm pleased to see that the policy paper restates our long-standing commitment to a statutory youth service, last confirmed in a motion I happened to move at Autumn Conference in 2015. Within the last couple of weeks, Labour has finally, and to much fanfare, also committed to the need for statutory funding for the youth service. Now, on a cross-party basis, I welcome this, but once again, where Lib Dems lead, others follow. Since 2010, that's the good Lib Dem bit. Now comes a little bit where perhaps we could have done a bit better. Since 2010, and for 5 of those years we were in government, so I'm afraid, folks, we have to take some of the responsibility for this. Council-run youth services have been decimated up and down the country. Universal provision has all but disappeared, leaving only small pockets of targeted work in most places. Faced with such a pitiful funding settlement from central government, especially since 2015, and with currently no statutory requirement to provide a youth service, local authorities of all political colours have found them an easy and tempting thing to axe. And despite calls for them to do so, Tory ministers haven't stepped in to provide extra funding, choosing instead to plough billions into its pet youth project, the National Citizen Service, the value for money of which has been called into question by a parliamentary committee. And I'd like to pay tribute to Baroness Liz Barker for being one of the very few parliamentarians to properly hold NCS to account for the money it spends. I welcome the call in the policy paper for NCS's resources to be redirected to help plug the gaps in provision across the country. NCS does good work, don't get me wrong, but a few weeks of activities each summer does not make up for the loss of an all-year-round, out-of-school universal youth service. I'm proud that it's Lib Dem activists and councillors up and down the country, including Jude Deakin in Chelmsford, Linda Jack in Bedford and Emily Smith, fantastic, who we've heard from already today, in Oxford, that are fighting to protect these vitally needed services. Youth workers at their best are able to reach young people that formal structures like schools often can't. But the work of youth workers can help, by building trust and confidence over time, a young person do better and achieve more when back in the classroom. That's just one reason why this is so important. Youth work can and does not only change lives but also save them, ensuring young people who might otherwise take a wrong turn stay on the straight and narrow. The Mayor of London, to be fair to him, has recognised the value of youth work, and that's the end of my time. Please support this motion. Support youth work.
Thank you. Can I ask Bill Revens to stand by?